Korean, and he is damn good.
Yeah, still doing good work. Impression's got a good head on his shoulders, so, you know.
Indeed. Well, let's see what those heads are going to be doing and whether they're going to be popped right now. NKT starting off on the CT side. They've got a smoke and a kid on impression. And for now, main man X himself is waiting over towards the A side.
Yeah, the fact that they have this kit smoke does mean that they have options should things go wrong. They're going around the world. They're going to go through con, they're going to go out the door, and then just go up short. I've done this one many, many times in my matchmakings. And I only hope that it has as much success as we usually do. Oh god, utility spotted out from Naofu. Kent is a little hesitant to pursue, but I might just be the lurker. They're really hoping that they heavy rotate to A, but because of the fact they played like a retake setup on B, NKT didn't really move that much, but by the time they did rotate, now Annihilation has seen where everyone's going.
Well, Kent is still in a fantastic position, and he's not going to be flashed at all. I say that, but he is, but he still gets a kill, and Annihilation is covering his backside, though himself will fall for that trades. Trades, however, going to continue to come in. Impression gooshed up, and Estelle to finish off. It's now just Zine. Now 1-on-2 wants to try and isolate that duel while the bomb's being planted, but the double peak's going to be too much, and Knoit and Estelle will shut him down. The two players you were looking forward to have debuted nicely.
I love that. Okay, first off, I hate that the strat didn't work out the way that it was supposed to, because you're really hoping that somebody's like either peeking from Fountain, or they're maybe holding the long cross on the, sort of like the flower boost, so that they see where the heavy presence is. If they have to see all those bodies, NKT would have rotated heavy. You saw Moon took super long, and they just ended up having to go all guns blazing into that B bomb site, but I guess it kind of worked, because NKT were clearing out B, and then just started to gamble over towards that A site because of the information, so...
Oh, good night.
Yeah, solid stuff. This is a force buy here from NKT, and Impression hitting headshots. Oh god, MP9 is well closing the gap, but they deal with it swiftly. Moon can get this planted now.
Two players going to be mollied off and short as well. See, this is one of the things that I love about Michael. Knoit is sitting on the backside, so he's going to be able to shut them down as well. And this is just such a well-rehearsed execute of the B slide. It's not a traditional execute. Obviously, we're not seeing like a million smokes and whatnot, but this is just, these are players who know their footwork, they know their movement, they know their pathing perfectly. They're always going to be able to trade you. Sure, Impression gets a quick kill out. Sure, there's some nade damage, but they've got the players in place. They've got someone watching the flank. It's just the very raw fundamentals of good Counter-Strike.
Yeah, and also one of the advantages of playing together for now 2 seasons back to back is that they have this benefit of knowing what everyone's going to do. They didn't seem like there was any sort of illusion about, oh, who's going to maintain pacing going into the bomb site. They just did it. So good stuff here from Moon to kick things off. Of course, not a round that you would have pitched too much of an argument for NKT unless they found a series of kills very quickly. And that was not the case.
Just to add on to what you were saying, Michael, I just checked. They also played Season 39's Open together as well. So it's 3 seasons now. So you can really see movements are well choreographed. That's what it is. NKT, however, they might not have played together for as long, but you know what? Sometimes it's not about all the tiny little ballet dance moves. It's all about the power moves and breaking it down on the floor. Question is, can they do it in the next round? Which is where I believe Annihilation should have his op. He should, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'll be alright. Wouldn't have a lot else, but he'll be alright.
Eco frag time, baby. Well, maybe not.
Yeah.
Maybe need to be a little bit more scared. Those flashes coming in are not going to blind anyone. Nobu down first. Now Fu traded, though, with a quick double tap from Zine. And I'm not talking about the publication DK used to write for.
See, that's a reference just completely over my head, but
it's an old one. It's all right.
I won't doubt that it's true. But they got their hands on an AK, and it's pretty much for free. You know, they trade one friend for an AK, but I mean, just give that over. So
that's actually pretty important, because that means Zion can drop over an op as well. And you can have, you know, full Kevlar plus utility on Annihilation if you want that.
Now, just rifling up. Not sure I'm a massive fan of this. I think even going glass cannon certainly had its merits, but given I think the pace that Moon are operating with at the moment, they have shown a tendency so far to go with, I think, very committed executes. So maybe just wanting to set up for a series of multi-kills should they come his direction.
Divider smoke as well. Impression's got some spam and 2 frags off of it. And now, that's finally the punish from the Monster Push coming in and twice over. Kent follows up with his own double, and why not have Dobu with a cherry on top, quickly closing things out. 4 players kept alive, and that's one way to do it.
Yeah, they really wanted to try and get ahead of that smoke as soon as they saw that it was coming in at a timing that I think that they called to go anyway, but weren't quite ready for the spam back to back. Oh, that's
The thing is, Moon Esports actually ended up throwing out a divider smoke and a toilet smoke, but because Zion was playing so far ahead of it from the very beginning, I think he just called their bluff that they're probably not going to be in towards the A side.
I mean, just didn't see anybody, so yeah.
Oh, it catches out Zion. This time he's trying to get aggressive info again. Kanoith not turning around at the T steps. We'll find a frag for it.
If the Annihilation response is going to be on par. SMG around the corner, and he's not got head armor, so it's a very lethal weapon at close range. Heard Nafu fall back, so Con might be called clear here for NKT. They are grouping up and actually getting ready to re-aggress elsewhere over towards that A site. They still have Dobu kind of hovering around, but that quick Con response as well could be something that Moon Esports don't fully anticipate, especially the fact that there's a secondary player so close by. Even if Annihilation does fall, it could be taken up very quickly.
Oh. Annihilation just pops up, gets 1 for free. That's a 4-on-4 found. No one here to trade at all. So much long presence, and that's going to be spotted out by Dobu pretty soon. At least if he's feeling exploratory, he is going for the jump spot. Has spotted them out now. This is where the call should be made. 30 seconds on the clock, but he's actually expecting this to maybe even be a fake. They have completely fooled NKT. Moon Esports are really running circles around them without even having to move.
Yeah, they've entirely just called out on the bluff that because there was no trade, there had to be no more players, but that just wasn't the case. Moon get the site for free, and they've now brought it to a 4-on-3. Annihilation is here faster into the bathrooms, and I think they may anticipate. They might have figured that this has been sectioned off. In fact, moving past each other in the smokes. Oh, back to 3-on-3, and now just chipping away at these players that are coming in on the flank, but not able to get themselves into the bomb site. Impression gonna try and stick to the fuse inside of the smoke. Has a kit for it as well, and he's forced out the spray, but the transfer from Ton right into the headshot. It's a 4th round for Moon, and gifted to them at that.
This is what we meant by Moon have got a real chance at that upset coming in over here because they've done all the prep work. Look, that might just be a bit of overthinking from NKT's side. I don't know if that's necessarily an anti-strat or anything on those lines, but the fact that they're so confident in saying, you know what, 25 seconds, they know they've gotten a kill over here, whatever, we're out.
Yeah, it's just, I'd love to know what the comms that were made there from NKT, because I think you're right that it's just them overthinking it based on what happened with that 1 kill over towards Top Con.
I even thought Dobu actually spotted them out towards long, but I must have been wrong because there's no way he rotates away if he spots them at 30.
No Might be timeout territory soon for NKT, but we'll have to see how this round plays out first. This is, of course, another full investment here from the nationally mixed squad. I was about to say mixed team, but that's not accurate. Very slow. This time, Moon waiting for a response. And I think NKT have been doing good at like getting aggressive and getting information to some of the early rounds. But this round has been static on both sides.
And this might work out for NKT. They've used oh, they're setting up for a flashbang.
Oh, God.
Dobu's in the perfect position for this one, but they're playing anti on the other side. No, they're not. Rather, they're holding utility. The second the smoke starts to fade, Impression's going to make the move. Dobu, the call for the flash is going to start to be made. Oh, he's not lining it up anymore. He's just waiting. You're right, Michael. And they're going to get the frags on Moon. They're just waiting. No one was playing anti-flash. That would have been the perfect play. Dobu's in the correct position as well, but right now he still has a chance to make this round worth it. Bomb's going to be faked out. Oh my God, Moon is just honestly, they're just fully outplaying NKT right now.
They've trounced on them in this round. Yeah, I mean, that's crazy because we're seeing them set up in double monster, and you're right, Dobu has this flash, it's kind of lined up, but I think because they weren't met with spam, and there was nothing really pressuring them into that position, they just thought they could phase it and be okay, but Moon are there with waiting arms. Their utility was sailing out at the same time that smoke was fading. They were waiting on that same timer.
The power of silence, man.
Yeah, I think it's really quaking NKT in their boots a little bit because I think even with all this early aggression we saw in the early stages of this game, we haven't seen it in full gun rounds, and I think that has to be something that changes, and maybe that change comes with Annihilation on the AWP, which is something we haven't actually seen on the CT side so far. Granted, they're trailing, they're trying to get rounds back. Sometimes you don't have the luxury of the orb, but I mean, you see NKT commit with so many of these lower tier buys.
You're not going to have the luxury of the orb if you keep playing
exactly
like this. Well, Apple's in a lot faster this time over, even going into the cubby directly. And they're trying to avoid any sort of duels over towards connector. They know that the money from NKT cannot be fantastic. Man, I keep thinking about how good that flash would have been if Dobu chucked it out.
Yeah. From probably the best move to maybe the worst, getting double headshot instead of the flash play. But hey, we can see everything they cannot. A slow screeching round from Esports. Look at the aggression now coming from NKT in short.
Oh, they're going to be trying to flash themselves through. The player to cover them off. The triple crunch from connectors paying dividends. Septi is the only one to respond, and he's going to try and regain control through the connector. Problem's going to be Zyne, as he's pretty aggressive already up to the divider. So he's going to be fast to rotate in and from behind. So if Annihilation can buy some space playing in from the jail position, he will be flashed up. So the question is he going to be finding anything? No. Kenoit is trading quickly. Impression is unable to frag on the range that MP9 does not afford him. Now brought down, and it's back to a 3-on-2. Despite Zyne being in position to flank, now you've got September in position to keep an eye out for it. Is he going to be checking this, or is Kent's going to find him as he turns around? Kent's has two. Somehow keeps it going, and Kenoit, now in the 1-on-2, knows where Kent's is as well, but Kent's with the MP9 is the savior, and they desperately need it.
Oh, just miscommunication, it felt like, from Moon Esports in that post plant. The first kill coming in from Kent's coming out of short water, and then you see this pillar player just not look in the right direction whatsoever. Didn't even consider it for at least a fraction of a second. And Kent is able to just sneak it away. 6 HP at the end of that, but a nice triple kill. He was never spotted. He didn't do any presence, wasn't participating in any kills earlier on. So a complete lapse of information that Moon Esports are punished for. Well, I guess if they can make these lower tier buys work, then that's a slingshot right back into winning ways. Moon are going to have their money sort of tattered at a little bit. Should have enough to get some sort of a half buy into the follow-up round.
I have no idea how that nade did no damage. Zyne threw a nade that on the minimap looks like smack dab on them, but okay. Maybe just going a little bit too short. T-steps can be a little bit fickle that way.
Or a little too high, maybe. Landing over the roof.
What are the coolest things about minimaps, Michael? Yeah, tell you what, I'm going to wait for an anti-eco round to tell you about this one. Because right now it looks like there might be some action coming up soon. Annihilation has in the past found a kill over here that did not result in a round win. Might be a similar circumstance. Oh, he's getting aggressive now. This hasn't paid off too well before. Question is he about to be blindsided? Oh, might be, Michael, might be. But in the meanwhile, Ton goes down, and Dobu, I didn't even notice him coming in for the flank.
Yeah, we're so fixated on what's going on with Annihilation's POV that Dobu's come in through the con side and completely outdone them. Nobody watching for a flank so quick. B players thinking, how do you get by? But he's put it together. Well, I was kind of expecting this round to go another direction, but bomb's too far away. Moon have no chance of winning this round whatsoever. Great little aggressive move there from Dobu. I thought Annihilation, like, I was right there with you. I thought he was going to feel a little antsy, try and get aggressive himself, try and find the right timing to sort of transition away from Connector, but not even necessary.
September's got to be feeling so sad right now. He's made it all the way into A site behind him. He's like, guys, I'm telling you, I've got the nastiest flank you've ever seen. And nah, not quite.
Yeah, but then they get flanked, in fact, by the nastiest flank they've ever seen. More swings and roundabouts.
Very important round out for Moon. They have 0 Molotov, so I'm not quite sure what kind of play you can make with this kind of buy, because obviously if you want to go for a faster play with a lower utility, you want to have those mollies to clear out the angles. So the question is, Annihilation about to be the first casualty. Yes, he is, but not before he can get one of his own. Zayn, in the meanwhile, is pushed in and behind. He's all the way into playground, so he's again in a good spot to flank them out. The question is, are they going to expect it?
Yeah, nobody's clearing out the playground this time over. So it's all about timings and whether or not this, oh god, the party player was going to make audio cues. I think that might be a cue for Sign to actually start aggressing at some point or another, but Moon are so heavily grouped up and Kent's is kind of information starved here. Just got a little whiff of them just on the jump spot, and that's not the smoke he was looking for.
Yeah, I was wondering about that. Oh, Zayn, however, maybe the smoke, distracts them, something on those lines, and Zayn can come in from behind because he does look to be primed for it, and he's gone for the right path, gone around rather than in front, but both entrances are closed off. We'll find the frag, and with enough time to start to execute onto the side, 3 players from NKT already here. Dobu striking true, and with Kenoit being low, that could have been a freebie. Kenoit responds instead. Kent's all alone. Another 3k needed to save the day, and he might not get it this time. Estelle in position to shut him down.
Oh man, I can't believe Moon are just so willing to stop and freeze in that position and just hold for potential flanks. Hold for any sort of a re-aggression there from NKT, because we've seen in rounds where Moon haven't shown too much of their hand, NKT have actually stayed static on bomb sites, but I think that one round where Dobu flanked through Con and the fact that there was a smoke on top of the bomb site, they just wanted to see what NKT were up to, whether this was delayed tactics of some sort, and they read it perfectly. That was a crucial round for Moon. They were out of cash. If they lost that round prior, would have allowed NKT this open door access to come back in. But now NKT, running on minimal resources, have to get aggressive themselves. Try and find an opener, and they found it immediately. A flash combo, Kent's aggro, and Dobu tried to take his place, but should have maybe followed his teammate's advice. Let's leave it open.
Impression's going to try and buy himself some time over here. Kent's with him, and this is going to be a very long flank for Zayn. Kent's had to hold on. His stealth trades a bit too quickly. An Impression as he's trying to lean back into the smoke once the spam is finished. Naofu's going to come in on his side. Spotted out now, Impression, if I'm not wrong, but Zayn's flank now activates. Flashbang is good. It's great.
Wow.
The retake before the bomb can even be planted. NKT find exactly the amount of time they need with that smoke.
That was like 3 hitmen and 3 marks all at the same time. They synchronized their kills perfectly at the end there. As soon as that smoke faded, every single one of these Moon players was exposed to another NKT rifler. Really looked a bit dicey, in all honesty, with the scaling that Moon were able to accomplish, but the fact that Impression stayed alive so long, Moon didn't know quite how to flush him out. Now just on the pistols here on this T side. NKT could get real access, real chance at getting back into this game. First go for Annihilation in the connector, but does get overrun. While Zayn getting his kill respectively as well. A lot of damage being done from Kent's just spamming straight through that smoke in Condor as well.
Zayn? Okay. Condor is a place, isn't it?
Condor. I think it's a bird.
You might be right. You might be right. Oh, that's Conga. Sorry. Right. Of course. I was thinking, I'm not good with birds or geography. Zayn, however, great with his bullets. He's been doing a fantastic job on some of these flanks, really getting in place and giving NKT the space they need to avoid that Moon silent and deadly combination that's been going on so far. Ooh.
Good kill for Estelle, though. Still a potential for a ace clutch. The flank crossfire being set up, basically. So NKT just built that right for the peak onto Estelle in the end. Also, Conga, isn't the Congo?
Oh, well, there you go. I suck at geography.
I do as well, but I was
this.
like, wait a second. This is not the right.
Conga's a dance, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah, like a conga line.
Yeah. Fair enough, man. That's a. Look,
Both
guys,
geographically challenged,
I've been
so
casting Counter-Strike since I was like 17 or something. Okay, I don't know much about the rest of the world. Ooh, good nade.
Yeah, a little shot off the head.
Oh, yeah, he's just been dinked down immediately. That's going to be a quick trade. Should still be very little risk coming up at NKT's side. And there you go. Cleanup crew is in the aisle. And Estelle won't really be able to do too much.
Yeah, he found one kill, but second was a little too much to ask for. Equal footing now, 6 and 6. But given the fact that we're talking about a Moon T side, I think this is pretty acceptable. Given the fact they had even, what was 1 to 6?
Hmm.
So something like that. A little bit more.
Well, I'm going to take this pause, Michael, and talk about the minimap thing I was mentioning before. It's pretty insane because obviously, you know, anyone who's tuning in and hasn't been watching CS for a long time, this HUD is obviously generated by ESL. They made their own HUD because it looks better and everything, and the minimap is part of it. It's pretty insane to me that we've got like a second, what would be considered practically a second game 15, 20 years ago, because I think back to like the old GTAs and stuff, which were two-dimensional and top-down like this. Gaming has come like a insanely long way, man.
Yeah, no, 100%. I mean, it's just the fact that there are things that you can't even customize as well. I've always loved that. Things are so open.
Yeah. Well, Moon Esports would like to close out this half a little bit better. They started off strongly, but NKT has been finding their footing, and now Annihilation on the AWP as well. A little bit late to the party. I would have liked him to be an earlier arriver, but hopefully he can still rock and roll like no one else. Well,
yeah, well.
There you go. That's an anti-strat, Mike. I'm telling you right now. Zain, however, has gone through, and you can't anti-strat that because he's just found 2.
There's no need for all this aggression. Extremities on both sides, and Zain pulling up double his weight has at least left them into equal footing. 3-on-3 into a late round, but CT side's never really going to be happy with this, considering how big this map is and how much you want information. Somebody's got to make a move, and so they're aggro off of short instead here for NKT, trying to clear things out over towards B, but this may be a red herring. The fact that they didn't see anybody, Bomb still yet to transition over as the rest of the Moon Esports squad are grouped up at B, and I think they're realizing, oh, yep, 2 people went over that bomb, but neither of them actually picked it up. So extra delays added to the Moon aggression towards this B bomb site, but NKT are kind of floating their way that direction as well.
Call's been made. And with the flashbang, it's going to be confirmed, but with 2 players coming up from short, are they going to be expecting this on the Moon side? Kens takes first point, Dobu takes first kill, and Kens is going to keep it going. He's still alive, and somehow, Nafu doesn't actually check him. He's worried about the heaven angle, potentially, and he ends up looking away. So NKT, what looked like they might have dropped the ball a little bit, they're actually able to take advantage of Moon's slow and steady style.
The small moment where they were nervous about what kind of information they had, they cleared out and they put it together. So yeah, I think just a little bit more urgency there from Moon would have gone a long way, but again, one of those things that how could they know what NKT are up to? They can only have their suspicions. Zain has to be dealt with at some point or another, though. With the constant aggression that he's been able to find over towards Playground and the Fountain is a little too much information for too little presence there for Moon. Dobu, aggro off for short as well, but only able to get 1, but does a lot of damage to follow-up players, so Kent will just finish them all off.
Yeah, this is a great adjustment coming up from NKT. You can see across the entire map how they change things around, about when they're just going for that information play, how they're using Zain, how Zain's always now pushing out towards Playgrounds. They're really finding the holes and tearing them right open.
An Annihilation AWP. Who'd have thunk
0
it?
kills so far. Ooh, maybe this is the time Zion finally gets punished. He's bitten off more than he can chew, Michael.
Yeah, this time over. You're not getting away with this playground sit down that you've been having almost like 4 or 5 rounds in a row. Finally dealt with, but now they're moving past the Annihilation AWP and maybe into the Kent's rifle that has made it rotate in. In fact, Impression there to join him, so there's 3 players sort of hovered around this A bomb site, and Moon's slowing things down, but Estelle's found the kill over at B, which is very, very important. They vacated that bomb site, so they're going to have to be really worried about the fact that Moon could double back.
They've heard Annihilation scope because Kanoit was in range to get the audible scoping sound. Annihilation didn't walk backwards. He re-scoped for that. So if they want to make the call about going over towards the B side, I wouldn't be entirely surprised, although I have to say, big rotations late round hasn't really been their style so far.
Yeah, still trying to find out where these B players are, if there are any at all. 2 players did make their reset onto this site. Stealth was given so much more free access than I think he would have ever anticipated.
My God. Oh, that's just... That's really nicely done by them. Still, A-side's going to be able to take an Annihilation. However, is covering and finally can get that AWP activated. Good for 1 and only the 1 for now. Grenade's not going to be going anywhere, but Kens has been given the space to come in from behind. Annihilation comes up and picks up 2. It's 9-6. NKT close out the half convincingly despite the start. We're off to a break for now, and we'll be back with the second to see where Moon will go.
You love it, you wear it. What's your style? Get your merch at shop.eslgaming.com.
Beautiful beginnings are not always beautiful endings, and that's what Moon Esports found out at the first half as they start off strong, but fall flat on their faces just a little bit towards the very end. Question is, can they pick themselves up, dust themselves off for the second half of this map?
Big questions and big guns invested into the first round. Kenoith, oh, he's got the armor and he's got the dualies, but he's now boxed in. They know exactly where he is, but teammates have to try and come and bail him out. Ton does get the first kill, and actually Kenoith, it's enough space for him to find a kill of his own. So NKT, they had this one player isolated for just that fraction of a second, but now lose 2 players for the investment.
Who knew the raid boss was actually just the bait? Well, there goes Septi. Maybe Dobu is a true raid boss. Doesn't really need a Tech 9 and old school to do it. Bomb's gonna be planted for sure. Tun's on taking a peek in time,
Wow.
and Dobu's here on the cover now. Wide swing out and Impressions making one, although a short one, as Estelle will cut his life out of pieces. Kent and Dobu still defending out that bomb. Estelle, dualies running at them, not doing too much, and Kent's on 7 HP. Man is just a beast. He really does deliver on that B-bomb side.
Yeah, I mean, if not for the fact that Dobu's able to rip so many heads clean off as well, NKT would have found themselves in a very dire set of circumstances. Found those 2 kills that they needed to get that bomb down first, and then just the aggression over towards short was a little more than Moon had in store. They thought they got this 5-on-3. They're in a great position, but spread a little too thin considering where the rest of NKT were. Also, a nice little move from the, I think, the 3rd NKT player in connector to just bail out and realize it was the next cause.
Big lost causes. USB round goes by the way of NKT, obviously anti-USB rather, and Design gets himself 2 kills with Mac 10, so money, money, money.
This guy just kills everybody around Fountain Playground. I'd love to see a stat. I think it is probably like 9 out of the sort of 11 kills that he has. So, hey.
Well, who knows? Maybe stats like that are going to exist in a while. But NKT, for now, they are just going to be going for a quick play towards short, just get that control defaulted out towards A, keep it slow and steady, and Moon Esports will be doing a lot of the same.
Yeah, the big things we're going to be looking out here for on Moon is whether they take this aggressive control that I think NKT adapted into on that CT side. We've yet to see that in this rifle, but maybe not first rifle is where we were expecting to see that. Can't work with minimal information, so they'll have to make a move at one point or another. There's good damage done over towards Dobu, and with the front bathroom smoke and divider Molotov that's being called out here for Moon. Kenoith would have called for a little bit of backup, but he has to try and escape himself, and he won't be allowed to do so. Galil at range. Not exactly the best weapon for Annihilation, but landed the headshot nonetheless. Man advantage, and Moon may look to reset. Not before they get some information, though. Players moving off of short does at least secure a little bit of extra access to this B-bomb site, but now rotates can come in nice and freely for the rest of the squad to see if they reinforce the right site. Fortunately, we can see that bomb. It's going the other way.
Might just be safe if they hit the B-bomb side, to be honest.
Oh, they're being sold on a fake as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think you're right. Might be a save if they don't realize quick enough.
And they won't be able to make it way back to heaven in time, and bomb can be planted safely, especially under the cover of that smoke. Zine even finding Ton in the meanwhile, so that lurker that he is going to be a menace. Man, honestly, Zine is just such a fun player to watch because he's not the annoying kind of lurker all the time where he's like, oh man, this guy's gonna be in a corner and but he sometimes just lurks in, takes duels head on with 3 people and just wins them out.
Yeah, something about the way that he plays just looks like he's having fun.
Yeah.
I definitely get that impression as well.
It's not like the happy style of lurking.
It's like, oh my god, this guy's so annoyed at my behavior right now.
It's like every play he's gonna make, although I have to say, losing quite a few players on NKT as well in the hunt. They're going to be fun in the next round, courtesy of how much money they actually got earlier on in the Mac 10s and whatnot. But taking out the 3rd player, very important, makes it so Moon is going to have a very fickle buyback comparison.
Well, NKT on their CT side won a round with a couple of MP9s and 3 rifles. And Moon have more rifles than they have those SMGs in comparison. So if the math all checks out, Moon should just have this one in the back pocket.
I mean, you're forgetting one part of the equation is that Kent's was holding an MP9, and that guy is something special with those SMGs, so you have to wait to see. Kent's right now, though. Just taking pause.
For the right moment.
Oh. Are they going to nade? Wait. Oh, sorry. That's a wood nade. I thought they were going to try and nade Estelle down. That would have been some nice stuff.
Oh my god.
Oh, the spam! Naofu as well combines forces, and that's way too much damage. NKT is not willing to bear that for the double nade.
Yeah, the fact as well, Naofu was getting aggressive from Monster over towards short. It was just completely mistimed. Wouldn't have found anything anyway. North as well has found his kill inside the connector, and he does actually have an escape path if he decides to go through short, but not sure if there's enemies still in that territory. Zine still lurking around as well and finds the backstab on Kenworth at the perfect timing. Head offered up, but he's lost every single one of his teammates in the meantime. So while he finally gets that kill, the prey eaten. Bomb still separated and 3 more players to find. The fact that Zine is having to reset like this does leave a lot to the imagination here for Moon, so they're going to be left wondering to a certain degree. But time against him, he has to end up showing his hand. He wasn't spotted on the jiggle.
I mean, 12 seconds, though, you know. Really just looking to do damage and make sure that the next round is going to be a bit more even. T-side should be able to buy anyway, especially with Zine going down. That was very close to it, though, I have to say.
Yeah, I knew that first kill, as soon as you see that player still jiggling that corner, you know that he's not been spotted in the first place, but he's very present of mind of the fact that he can take that first shot so quickly. But yeah, still challenging and then getting instant headshot, like, give that guy an AK or something and, you know, the round maybe changes. But even still, NKT still going to be happy with the lead that they've acquired so far. Rifle investment again, and so quick-paced through towards Fountain. Now through actually aggressing at the late timing.
Oh,
God, missed his lines, and Estelle spotted as well.
This is getting scary. Flashbang's going to end up lining himself, but now he's being boxed in. Impression. Shutting down the lid on him, and no more oxygen for you, buddy. Zine is going to be found by Ton, so at the very least, they're able to reclaim some territory. The A side isn't given up completely for free. Bomb too far away to go for that, at least. Zine is a lurker, though, so he could have been alone, and Ton has to get aggressive to try and find out, and that aggression is, well, it's punished.
Yeah, going for info moves like this are sometimes necessary, but it never feels good when you just have to sort of push into an angle with no sort of counter play or plan B should things go wrong. Teammates were on the other bomb site, so a little difficult. Oh god, I mean, I'm not really sure what the plan was there. Sit behind smoke, reconsider, die.
Terrible economy for the next few as well for Moon. I mean, look, remember their loss bonus is poor as well, and money's not great, so yeah.
Could find a rifle over at long. Kenworth might be making his way over that direction to see if he can get his hands on a better weapon to save over, but Yeah, there's
Kent's
T's
is
all over the
covering.
place.
Shouldn't be possible for him over here. They're watching out, and if he loses this armor, it's going to be a little bit detrimental as well, because at least in this round, if he gets a kill or two, he's still... He's got the money to be able to pick up maybe an op, drop it over to his teammates.
Just the extra factor, in fact, of you know, utility kits. Yeah, they're buying straight into it. Okay, now I said this before. NKT had a round where they had 2 MP9s and 3 rifles. Oh my! Oh no! Oh no! And given the missed utility, I'm no longer convinced by my own argument. So.
You'd be a great politician, Michael.
Once upon a time.
4 scores and 10 rounds ago, NKT had MP9s. That smoke's got a big old gap in it, though, and because of that, they're feeling very comfortable moving through. MP9's gonna be traded, but maybe this is the round. Septian cannot putting him down. NKT maybe just misjudging the CT side economy a little bit, but hell, even then, they've seen their first MP9 anyway. That is a... well, I guess Michael's president now.
I mean, okay, first off, they sold that first MP9. That doesn't mean anything because they know that something was saved for the last round, right? But I think, yeah, the commitment to the full buy there from Moon might have just completely thrown them off. And the fact that they had so many SMGs ready to fight, sure, they don't pack as much of a punch to the body on individual shots, but when there's 3 of them shooting at you, there are so many bullets firing so damn quick. NKT actually just almost couldn't trade because they actually had to trail through that smoke. There might have been a gap, but not everyone could fit through the gap at the same time for NKT. Yeah, did not expect that one to be the one.
Exactly. That's how everything starts off as well. Oof.
Well, NKT had some money in the back pocket, but most of that extra cash floating around is gone. In fact,
That's an interesting... I don't think I've seen this before. The smoke up first. We're going to hold the point because right now they're running it down over towards the B-bomb site. Quick trades are good, but still a 3-on-3, and NKT are more than happy with this. If Dobu had just found the frag, Estelle in the meanwhile tagged up and brought down Kent to push him into the grave. They do have a smoke to cover out from heaven. Kent is pushed up right underneath it, but Annihilation exposes himself. All down to Kent. Was the MP9 magic? Or is it just him, the tap? Out of Kenoit. Shutting him down there and then needs to recover the bomb. He's got a fair bit of utility as well to try and play around with. Nafu is scared. Oh. Molly's given him the opportunity he thinks he needed, but Kent's jumping down, going to the A side. Nafu's outplayed him completely. Again, the static style of Moon just ends up being what works.
Just the complete stoic nature of them. Sometimes there's just like this internal timer that they're willing to play the round out until. And you could see the nervous steps there from Kent's unsure about where the last player was positioned. Yeah, certainly a interesting variation. This quick, deep smoke and then like a Molotov in front of it.
That's that's so much commitment because it's 2 mollies and a smoke.
Yeah,
I get it in a pistol round and an anti-pistol round especially, but yeah, I don't think I've seen that before. I'm
actually, yeah, it's strange because I think sometimes we have this conversation about like whether we've seen a strap before, and one of us is usually like, yeah, you know, someone did it or seen it in like a game or 2 ago that we might have watched together. But I think you're right. This might be one of my first as well.
It's also interesting because very often what teams do anyway is that first guy going forward will just smoke off the Molotov. So, I mean, the smoke and the Molotov combined, I get it, but it's the
fact that they're running through the staircase while going through the gray screen. So
yeah,
it's certainly interesting. Not sure I'm a big fan because, like you said, it's a lot of utility to use for just that access. But hey, maybe in a gun round it has higher value. No mollies this time, but find the leg on Zine and the nade to try and follow up, but Zine vacated very quickly.
That's a boost, finding one quickly. Annihilation is gone. And Zion's not feeling too happy about the state of his legs either, so...
Building the
Now-
boost.
Zion's found Kanoid somehow, and as Estelle drops down... Thing is, Zion can lurk all the way in, and if he goes to long, this could just be catching out Naufu. Zion, however, doesn't generally end up turning back once he's occupied a particular area. Smoke down to garbage as well for him to play around. This is so well played just off the back of his position. The problem's going to be Naufu. He could cut off the bomb before it even goes anywhere, but Impression, the timing's been missed, and both of them end up turning around at the wrong time, but Naufu still gets the better of him, drops the bomb, and he's got solace in the playground.
Yeah, Zion found on that A bomb site as well, so that lurking presence couldn't find an extra kill. We've done a lot to alleviate this pressure. Kents might have a clear path to recovery for this bomb just because of how much respect Naufu's given to this area and the fact that he could get flanked as well from those T-steps, but now grouping up and Kent's trying to get that package over, so concerned about where Naufu went off to.
And they know it isn't going to be on the B-bomb side, so Ton is getting ready to start rotating over as well. Estelle's position might be seen, but with that flashbang, they can't really push into him directly. This is just, once again, the closing down of shops, and yeah, Dobu's gone. And tell you what, Kens, you're not looking too hot either.
Man, so well done from Naufu. Just understanding as well, as soon as he lost Kenoith, and the fact that this rotate wasn't going to get there in time, just getting aggressive himself and finding this separate avenue of attack. That timing over towards in towards party was everything. I mean, that pretty much defines how that round plays out. Just because then NKT would have had this man advantage, they could have actually used the lurking presence of Zion. Switched in an instant. Well, we were talking a lot about that smoke the round prior, but didn't quite make it this time over. So they just didn't check Fountain at all, just because the utility didn't land. But it is a half-buy investment from NKT. They've got upgraded pistols. They've got a singular smoke. See what they get up to.
Oh, Ton misses out the opportunity. This could be a big punish coming in. Kent straights out so quickly. And now Naufu, is he going to be expected? Smoke in the hand of one. First one goes down. Naufu turns around. It could have been 3 Impression, shutting him down finally, but maybe a little bit too late. NKT are going to be able to circle back towards the B-bomb side. Estelle, the only defender, one who has proven to be more than enough in the past, but with Dobu cheating all the way past, crouch walking forward, peeks out but misses that first shot.
Wow.
Impression's trade will not be good enough, even though it does look pretty damn snazzy.
Yeah, I thought for sure Dobu was going to get that kill as well, because the bait is kind of set for him to get that frag. Impression's very loud coming out of the connector, and so that graffiti player is going to be very fixated on him. But Dobu hits him in the shoulder instead, and so, hey, NKT don't make it out of there. 12-13, only a 1-round discrepancy, and a potential turning point. Money not exactly accomplished in the buffer for NKT. See if they can get access a little earlier on. His early aggressive moves have been typically met with actually some good early kills from Moon instead, but small gap. Estelle lingered a little too long and lost the timing on Kent's crossing.
I think he was trying to use it as one way.
Yeah.
Well, it goes out, won't be able to go through short too easily. They have to rush in, and Zion's entry along with Kent's just destroys them. Okay, all right. I won't lie to you, I thought that Molotov was going to be enough.
Quick kills, quick access, quick round. NKT up to 14 with this.
Yeah, he's probably didn't want to do that.
Everyone's just getting clotheslined here for Moon. That's all it took. Is just one catalyst kill over towards short. As soon as they found that, NKT were willing to speed the pace up right into that bomb site, and we just found head after head. I am certainly a fan of NKT's calling style. I always feel like they have a nice little balance between these faster and oh my god, these faster and slower plays. Annihilation was setting up to knife him because we saw Nafu's back for just a second.
Did he? I thought he was just running with a knife out.
No, I think he did.
Okay,
but a little unsure perhaps. I mean, maybe Annihilation isn't just that kind of guy. But yeah, I've liked that they've been able to change the pace up. Moon, I think, have been a little more on the slow side. We've definitely seen. But it's the way that NKT are dynamic about it, with the ability to have these lurking players. Whether it has been, I think, even on like I think we've seen them on Dust 2, where like Kens has taken some of those responsibilities sometimes. But Zine, we've seen what he's gotten up to on Overpass. So that's how they can have this push-pull. Moon are a little bit more committed to the singular idea, which I commend in much the same way. Sometimes it's all about that extra patience, which we saw on display on their T side. Might fall out of their depth, though. They've run out of extra cash, and NKT only need 2 more rounds.
Great kill to find early on. Dobu's one of the big men you have to put down, and with him not being available in the late round situation, really, will it come down to Kens and Zine should things get tricky? Those are the 2 players you generally look to if Dobu's been sidelined. Smoke, Sept is gone, second player not expected, and Ton trades, keeps it in their court for now at the very least. Now flashbang necessary to try and peek forward. He's got some more support from Ton coming in as well. They've cleared out the toilets. No, there's no one here, at least no one in front of them.
Yeah, Ton's not going to move an inch as soon as he hears any presence towards that A side. Just holding onto connector, it means that they have a sturdy access point, a potential flank very quickly that NKT might not have the resources to actually deal with, given that there are only these 3 players. Nafu as well getting aggressive in his own right. Zine's going to miss out on the timing. Oh, never mind. Looked at Divider and Nafu was looking the wrong direction. Ton trying to get that quick flank accomplished, and he will find that trade right back. Still a 3-on-2.
Bomb can be planted at the very least, courtesy of these smokes and Annihilation. Watching out the back lines, no one exposing themselves to him just quite yet. An impressions taken prerogative to push into the smoke, but that smoke's gone now. That timing, Kenoith is watching. He is very well aware of this possibility, and it is a freebie for him. Crouch peek into an op, yes please. Annihilation now left in a 1-on-3. So far he's at 3 in the game with the AWP, wants to double it up. Finding the first smoke down in front of him, missing out his shot, but the smoke is way off the mark. He has to go all the way around, but the smoke, it's obscuring his vision just enough, and they should be able to take him down. Estelle even jumps into him and takes him apart.
Yeah, I can respect that from Estelle as well. Understood that Annihilation was low HP, but really hard clutch for Annihilation to win out in that scenario. Just the patience that you're kind of talking about there from Kenoith to keep an eye on Bank that whole time, because his teammates were doubled up on the flank from Banana. Massive amount of props there, because if not for that, then suddenly they have a good access point and a good post plant to play from on the side of NKT. Talked a lot about the advantage that Moon could have by winning this map and then maybe sneaking one past on Inferno. There was going to be a way that Moon won this series. Most would expect a 2-0. But NKT have really shown some grit here in the second half in particular. God, man. Zine always gets so close so quick.
Yeah.
Even on these slow walks.
Oh, he doesn't know the pre-fire angle right there, unfortunately for Nafu, because looked like he might end up getting it. Nafu, however, a little bit clumsy with the footwork. That's in place. Bomb can be planted because of it, and the Molotov's not going to be in time. Septi falling as well in the back lines. Dobu and the Lurk will find him, and another Estelle trying to recover against that Lurk, and Zine's going to see the rifle, but he doesn't quite see it. He doesn't notice it. It was definitely on his screen, that is for sure. Even in a 4-3, that one does pop out, but now there goes Zine. The spam through will reveal it, and back to a 3-on-4. They need to recover this, but still so many NKT members alive with these flashes that are coming through. Fully blinded out. That smoke goes way too deep. Ton will get one, but he turns around to face Dobu, and Dobu is undefeatable. Comes up with 3 big kills this round, and NKT are up the game point off the back of it.
Hey man, we're just talking about some of the swapping of positions that you can find from players on NKT. I mean, we're really expecting Zion to have some impact on this A play, but just keeping them busy over at the B bomb site was so impactful. Yeah, the fact that the lurking presence can just be so many of these different players is a massive advantage that NKT can have, because it's so hard to read as Moon. And look at the buy that they have to try and keep themselves in this game. NKT going quick.
Oh yeah, they're already onto the B bomb side. Impressions got the first one. They're all white screen, but turns out Tun is going to be benefiting. He's got 3 big ones with the MP9. Dobu can't recover, and it's all down to annihilation. One clutch already gone by the second one, not too far off as Kenoit around the corner will just shut him down. That is value, Michael. That's value.
How?
I have one thing to say, Michael. 4 scores and 3 MP9s ago.
and it's you know, we had a Kent's 1v3 effectively with the MP9 right on the bomb site on their CT side. So I mean, does it work in roundabouts that way? I don't know.
They already got their one.
I've lost track.
Ooh. Strong start where they're trying to get over to overtime.
Yeah, it's looking like. 2 kills so quickly. Oh man, NKT are going to be so sad about how they dropped the ball that round prior, and now finding themselves at a deficit so early on into a full gun round. This still isn't like optimum buy territory here for Moon. They used up a lot of their early utility. They still got an MP9 floating around. But yet they found a nice clean set of opening kills, and NKT have no response.
3 on 5 to recover would be a big ask. Kent's has tried it out, and that just doesn't do any good. No utility. Just firepower. Just aim. Just a reliance on their opponents to make a mistake, and Nafu might have made one by revealing himself. He's scared about his HP, but Impressions lost a teammate won't matter. Access to the bomb site still not there. Tun is alive in water, and he is sneaky. We'll be able to find 15. We're off to a break to see what overtime holds for us. Michael, cover.
It's overtime. Moon versus NKT on our first map in the series. The map pick of Moon, but after a good little bit of resurgence there from NKT, they fall at the final hurdle, losing to a Force Spy. Well, things are going to get a lot more interesting now that money's no longer an issue. We'll have to see how things really pan out here for NKT now that things have gone the shoe's now on the other foot. They had this lead. They were sitting pretty, they were feeling good, and then Moon found the extra depth needed to dig a little deeper. Zion finding an opening kill into the first round of the overtime and just continues to move. This is why I love watching Zion for a particular reason. He gets his kill, and most people would accelerate, full stampede. He just keeps on walking. He keeps on inching forward. But they have found another kill in response here on the side of Moon in spite of the lurking presence found.
Kent has also been having a game and a half leading the scoreboard, but Kenoit leading Annihilation on to death. That's a swift little ferry over to the other side. I'm just really impressed with the fact, like you mentioned, the design maintains its position over towards the A-bomb site. But the thing is that now it's a one-on-one, an impression moving through the smoke catches Kenoit off guard. That means that the A-bomb site should be theirs for the taking, and with Kent left behind, Estelle is very aggressive, so any rotation that he's making should be noticeable by Kent. The only question is there going to be a rotation made? September is getting ready to actually get aggressive himself, and his barrel's been spotted. September caught out and brought down Estelle, trying to take advantage of the situation to come in as a second man. I don't think he's been spotted, and he can cast a bomb. It's been dropped. It is fully outplayed, and with 10 seconds, doesn't look like there's enough time for NKT to really do anything about this.
Yeah, they had to try and track down the kills in time, but yeah, getting to that bomb means nothing, effectively. Kent does get his hands on it, but it's all for naught. He got that one kill on short, and he was calling it all clear just because of, he thought he found this fantastic timing, but the reason he gave it up was because Estelle was in that short side tunnel. Just how could they have put that one together? How could they have ever known? That's crazy. And, you know, they have some good timings working to their favor in that round on the side of NKT. Zion, the fact that he had that position over at A, you saw Kenoit looking backwards over towards long because he was worried about a potential flank. And then also that short play, but it's still not enough.
Afu gets all the way over through to the playground, doesn't actually pair into it till later on. That'll be giving them time to get a quick trade out. September is here to cover as well. He's had a bit of a poor game, but now in overtime, sure, previous round he might not have much impact in terms of kills, but really his positioning was what did sort of end up bringing the round. Hold the thought, Dobu. Looked like he was just going to slide right in and shut down that boost.
Almost happens. Smokes are down and Molotov into spawn as well. You saw nobody cross over towards Graffiti or escape in water, so NKT can feel safe in the fact that they have this entire plant covered. Still a man advantage here for Moon on the retake though, and they've got a Molotov as well to help draw them out.
Great position from Dobu. This is all going to be down to him. You can see Impression coming in from behind. He can even line up some flashes, and that looks to be exactly what he's doing. Smoke down to try and isolate him away, but the Molotov is fantastic. Dobu's flushed out, and they go straight to death. September and Estelle take over, and Impression has to recover one. He is not quite fit to make.
Yeah, September with 4 kills coming in on this retake, and he's had a relatively quiet game. I was going to make the joke, do you remember the 21st death of September earlier in the regulation? But a massively high impact frag just because it is coming into the overtime. And if he does find a little bit more access and a little bit more success as well, NKT are in for a world of hurt because the rest of Moon have been fragging out and fragging consistently alongside each other. Quick peek, but nothing.
Yeah.
Shot missed. Nice try.
I find this really interesting. Yeah, 4 players over towards the B-bomb side after what we saw from NKT in regulation, where they just rushed over to B. I guess it's sort of understandable, you know? But ends up working out against them. Dobu does actually connect through the smoke.
It's a crawler round here for NKT. And Moon are not happy with it. Slow play, that's what we do. So aggression is going to be found, and it is September once again instigating some of this action. And all those kills on the retake, and now doing one to keep Moon at level footing. 4-on-4, commitment coming to this A bomb site. Lots of Molotovs down, and rotates are coming round as well. But Kenoit is on an island by himself. No one there to help or support him whatsoever. Bomb can get planted here on the side of NKT, but Moon are set up pretty well to get this retake underway. They've got the Molotov, an HE. No flashes is the only real concern, and an AWP as well on Ton. They have to try and build a boost of something of the sort to try and catch NKT out. Otherwise, it could be their first round or the last round of this first overtime. First half.
Fantastic position. He's going to find Septi, but no, September wins it out. He seems to be unstoppable in overtime. Only Zyme from behind can do it. And oh man, what a way to show up as well. God, that looked like it could have been disastrous for NKT, but even so, Zyme just always there, man.
Yeah, I really wasn't... You know, as soon as I tried to make the argument there for the CT retake, I started to realize as well just how difficult it was going to be because of the fact they were so clustered up in position there for Moon, but even still able to crack themselves into the bomb site and still making it a little fearful, that's for sure. I don't know.
Gotta say, man, September stepping up is going to be a big X factor on the T side as well. I wonder if he can convert the same way. Obviously had a very rough game initially.
It's all about the here and now. Who cares about regulation?
One thing I do quite like about overtime is that Annihilation's hopefully going to have an AWP all the time, because we really didn't get to see enough of that.
Yeah. And even in the few rounds we did, we saw like one round where we actually got kills with it on that CT side.
Yeah.
So Annihilation without the AWP is... I mean, is he Annihilation anymore?
Well, Kent has been annihilating them for a while now. He's been having a game and a half. I think, obviously...
30 plus frags.
Yeah, I think he's up to 33 or so. Scoreboard's going to be reflected accurately after the round is finished. Don't worry, guys. Oh, AWP out and Annihilation. Swipes right into Naufu, and he plows through him.
Exactly the kind of peak you want Annihilation to be taking here on the CT side. Just kind of transitioning into angles, finding quick kills. Ken's flashed up over at short. Does get found. Zyne can find a backstab potentially.
They're not going to be expecting Zyne to be on the right side of Hail, though I have to say that Estelle is actually checking this. Zyne's going to hear it. Zyne heard the utility being thrown. Estelle even turns around, but as he's dropping down, that's when Zyne takes the peek. Grenade is going to be decent, but Estelle still finds the frag. His HP all but gone, and another nade could be all that's needed. Annihilation with one in his pocket doesn't want to deploy it because he's just scoped right in and scoped right on. Kenoit about to enter the eye of that tiger, and Annihilation is not going to be all that necessary. Impression just peeks out and finishes him off himself.
Good presence of mind there from Annihilation to just throw that cursory nade over to the side, just see if it flushes him out. And sat on that damage and did a lot to help alleviate the stress of that final duel. Still definitely close coming into the overtimes. Nothing has changed away from regulation that heavily. Kent's actually at 32. Well, just trailing in terms of the scoreboard. 29 kills for him on the Moon side. I think denying Zyne from getting access to the playground is super important. He nestled himself in, built himself a home, hung up pictures on the walls, and just got a little too comfortable. So now into the overtime, it's good to see that Moon have accomplished that goal of setting him back and setting him over to that A bomb site. Kind of allows for this slower, more commitment-based style to work out to a certain degree, so long as they don't lose numbers, which they have, unfortunately. Spam through the connector, spam through the wood.
Oh, September just destroys impression right there. I have to say, Zyne is not trying to go for those crazy lurks or flanks this round. Maybe mid-round is where he's got an idea. The flash is actually hidden by that tree trunk, so he ends up being caught out. Double of the trade is good, but it's still a 3-on-3, and you don't have that massive lurking presence, so Moon has a lot more space to constrict your airways.
Annihilation's not going to make a zooming error over at the bathrooms this time over. So he's right into it, and missed his line on the flick. September just trying to feign some aggression over towards Fountain while the rest of the team are going elsewhere, and he wasn't expecting Dobu to be so close, but
Nice.
Kent has given them access over towards Monster. He's still holding on to short in this rotate that's available for his teammates later on. 3-on-2.
10 seconds, they don't have time. They have to go for the bomb plot, and Kenoit is going to commit to water, maybe even push in. That would be the perfect move. There is no one coming in from heaven, and they need to know that soon. Estelle peeks out good for one, re-peeks where necessary. Dobu is there on the trade, and it's all about Kenoit. 1-on-2 trying to find their first game point. Dobu trying to find his first ace of the game. And as he's going to be making his way forward, peek right into it. Kenoit will find one. Kenoit turning around. Annihilation's low, and Annihilation's gone. 18 secured for Moon Esports.
Massive move there from Kenoit, just to know that to keep the pressure on, he has to play within the bomb site, and he found the high HP player immediately. Dobu, not sure where he could have repositioned to. And Kenoit pulls it right over the hands of NKT, clamps them back down to a position where they have to win this next round, lest we go instead to Inferno. We're going to get there anyway, but with a notch added to the belt of Moon, that's not the way that they wanted this to go. A tooth and nail fought map so far for both sides. A lot of pros and cons for both. I think Moon as well started in a deficit in that previous round. It didn't last very long, but the fact that there was a founding kill afterwards from Moon made a world of a difference.
I mean, Annihilation missing that shot just changes everything.
Yeah. Well, it was done. Just picking up another weapon somewhere else. Last round of the second half of the overtime. I think he spammed all the extra ammo out of his A1S, so he went to go pick up a new one. Kind of cute.
That would also be very troll if someone goes and picks that up in an overtime. So, I rather in a quick one. But now Fu, caught out looking elsewhere. Zine is able to just walk right in and take him down. The problem is going to be the... What?
Oh, wow. Okay.
Zine, you madman!
I can't believe he swung like that.
I can't believe he found the kill. Well,
yeah,
with
exactly.
like 30 HP. Oh god, even Kenoit is low. NKT's not giving this up. NKT is not giving this up.
Well, call's been made. Move over towards that B bomb site. Meanwhile, NKT might have other ideas. Rotating and start floating over towards a quick rotate over towards A. Moon are grouped up and ready to explode. They have to go quickly as well, so speed is of the essence, and getting this kill is even more crucial. Kenoit has to keep committing to it, and Impression jumped forward to try and cancel the bomb in some capacity. 3-on-2 still, but that bomb down.
And September is in a great position now. Back over Dobu is traded. Estelle alone. He's crossed that 30 mark himself. Annihilation on the other side, yet to really impress us with the pizzazz of the AWP that we were promised. And now Deagle out in his hands. Estelle peeks forward. It's Moon to take it home.